Hey, this is Sean from Bass Gear Magazine, and today we're looking at a very special Alusonic Django Bass. Let's check it out! Man, this is a cool and unusual bass. What can I say? I mean, the first thing, the most salient thing about it is that it's aluminum. Actually, you may not even be able to tell from looking at it right away because this really eye-catching, glorious top that it has, but this top is actually aluminum too. So what we've got here is an aluminum-bodied instrument. It's like an aluminum exoskeleton that is semi-hollow, and it has a carbon fiber plate on the back. But the neck is actually made of wood. So if you remember Kramer basses in the 80s, the basses with aluminum necks, other people have tried aluminum instruments. I think VGA is, they do or have done aluminum instruments. Oftentimes you see that the neck is aluminum and the rest of the body might be wooden. The rest of the instrument might be wooden. In this case, it's the reverse. So these necks are purely wooden necks, and the rest of the instrument, from the facing of the headstock to the top of the body and the very thin, I might say, side of the body as well, the entirety of the body really, except for the back plate, is aluminum. Hopefully I'll be able to zoom in on that and you can read that better, but it says Tributo 400 degrees? It looks like it says 400 degrees. Now, we actually took a look at this exact instrument at NAMM this year, NAMM in 2024, and spoke with the builder about it. He gave some of his thoughts on the construction and why he does what he does. He walked us through some of the hardware and the pickups. So I would recommend checking that out, and ideally we'll have a link for you down here in the description. But Alusonic is a very interesting brand. They make a lot of their own components. So these pickups are designed in-house and made in Italy. I believe they're made by a separate company in Italy to Alusonic specifications, and they are a hybrid of neodymium and Alnico 5 magnets. The bridge is also a custom design, also made in Italy for Alusonic. The knobs, I believe, are sourced, but the preamp is also another Alusonic original. The strap buttons and tuning machines are two of the only things that are not designed in-house. These are Hipshot ultralight tuners. I'm not exactly sure who makes the strap buttons, but it's pretty incredible that they are able to source so much locally and provide so much themselves in order to have kind of a holistic approach to instrument building, something you don't see often enough. I think it's actually very cool. This preamp gives us 2 bands of control, treble and bass, and a master volume, along with a 5-position pickup selector, which gives you a lot of tones, quite a lot of tones. So here in this pickup position with the knob all the way that way, we have perhaps ironically, just the very rear coil of this big dual humbucker Music Man style pickup. Going one position this direction, we have sort of a J configuration, so it's the rear coil along with the front single J coil. In the middle, it is just the single J coil in the neck position. One before the end, it is all three coils. And finally, right at the end, it is the Music Man style humbucker just by itself, both coils of that pickup. The pickup combinations I found that I liked the most were the Music Man pickup by itself, all three coils in parallel, and then the sort of jazz configuration of the front coil and the rear coil of the Music Man pickup. Those were by far my favorite, but I'm going to play all five of them for you so you can hear what they sound like. The body is aircraft grade aluminum, and it's light. This bass is, for a full-size 5-string, this is, I believe it says 8.5 pounds. It's really very manageable, and it's very comfortable to wear. Now the specs say that this top is dichrolam Q. I'm not quite sure what dichrolam Q is, but in speaking with the manufacturer and their representative, it's another element of treated aluminum, color-treated aluminum. It's just super cool. It looks like highly quilted maple. The neck of this bass is hard maple, and it's got a beautiful, really flat satin black finish on it that at first made me think that it was a carbon fiber neck, but it is in fact hard maple with graphite reinforcement, and the fretboard is a material called Graphitex, which I haven't heard of before called by that name exactly. And then the headstock is plated with another sheet of this dichrolam, or perhaps the process is called dichrolam. Scale length is standard 34-inch long scale, and the fretboard radius is 16 inches. For as space age as it might look and sound from the description, it actually feels incredibly comfortable and familiar to play. Another thing I think is pretty cool about this is just how thin the body is. I kind of like thin instruments. The thinner and sleeker and more playable things feel to me, the faster I feel on them, and kind of the more, I don't know, exotic they feel somehow. And the body of this bass is perhaps just over an inch wide. I don't know, maybe it's an 1.25 inches, an 1.1 inches. Perhaps you can see that. But it feels like a really nice thin line, thin body instrument, and it's kind of a cool vibe. One of the things that I first noticed when I strapped this thing on is that the body's a little bit cold. I'm up here in Seattle. It's probably considerably chillier than where this bass was produced. And I guess that's going to be one of the byproducts of having an aluminum-bodied instrument. Is that when you feel these sort of raw, these naked aluminum elements here, not so much the back, because the carbon fiber does kind of insulate it a little bit. But when you come into contact with that aluminum, just at first, when you first put it on, the first couple minutes of playing, there's a little chill to it if you're in a colder climate. Now, I'm of the mind that an angled neck pickup is a very cool thing to have. However, I tend to prefer the opposite angle. I think that if you have the neck pickup angled towards the neck as you're going to the treble strings, It gives those strings a little bit more thickness and gravity where they're often lacking in it, and gives the lower strings a little bit more clarity where those are often lacking in it. So kind of a reverse P pickup type of scenario. It'd be really cool to see a version of the Django with that as an option. Alusonic offers a limited lifetime warranty. None of this 2 years, 3 years stuff. Lifetime, limited lifetime warranty to the original purchaser of their instruments. And I feel like that is something that we should see a lot more often in instruments of this caliber and this range of the market. So kudos to Alusonic for offering that. All right, boys and girls, it's that time. Once again, thank you so much for joining me in looking at and talking about and playing this beautiful Alusonic Django bass. It's a pretty unique experience for me, I can say for sure. And make sure to like the video. And when you like the video, subscribe to our channel, would you please? And if you subscribe, would you please hit that notification icon so you're the first to know from all of your friends when we drop new content. All right, guys, thank you so much once again for Bass Gear Magazine. My name is Sean Fairchild. I'll see you next time.